Okay, so you have figured out how to stand up and ride a wave in, but now comes arguably the hardest phase in surf progression, the phase that will either make or break a new surfer. Learning how to successfully paddle out to the right spot, time your turnaround and paddle to catch waves at the right time, all the while avoiding other surfers in the ocean tends to be what takes years of trial and error to finally conquer. I have seen countless new surfers give up at this stage. I like to compare it to learning a new language by just sitting in a room full of people speaking that new language. Sure, you might slowly figure out some words, but it's going to take a long time of sounding foolish before you can even speak a full sentence. After all, the ocean is a body of water, and therefore I like to think of it as a form of body language that you will learn to communicate with through your actions. Here's the secret. Learning the language of the sea is actually what unlocks real independence and freedom as a surfer. What's up everyone? My name is Alex Sapone. I was born and raised in the surf industry here in Florida and started surfing as soon as I could walk. Fast forward and I've been surfing for over 2 decades and teaching others how to surf for just over a decade now. Back when I first started teaching, I was terrible, similar to many other beginner surfer instructors. When none of my students were learning, it shattered my identity of being an advanced surfer, and I became obsessed with changing that. That obsession led me to build my first framework over the course of 2 years that I have been implementing, refining, and expanding for the past 10 years now. The Developing Surfer course is designed to take a beginner who knows how to stand up and ride straight to an intermediate who can safely paddle out, catch waves on their own, and follow proper surf etiquette as to not piss off the other surfers or look like a total kook. This course supplies the foundation for the rest of your surfing journey. Off the bat, it's hard to believe how an online course could teach you how to be independent in the ocean. You may be thinking, don't I need to go out in the ocean to learn this stuff? And the answer is, well, yeah, of course you have to practice these steps in the ocean eventually to successfully do it, but every time I've coached a student through this phase, which there have been hundreds, I've had to spend hours on the beach explaining all of these things and pointing them out for the student to show any real progress once we were actually in the ocean. That is exactly why I created this course. So I could just send this course of me breaking it all down the same way I do on the beach every single time prior to going out for a lesson. It saves both of us time and allows us to spend all of our time in the water once the lesson begins. This course is created from years of giving the same lesson over and over again while refining it to have more of an impact on each student's progression. Needless to say, this course has had years of refinement and is now consistently proven to work. Maybe you feel similar, but so many of my students feel they aren't quite ready for the step in surfing yet. Whether it be because it feels they don't have enough experience riding waves yet, or even just don't feel confident paddling out without an instructor yet. However, I'll tell you all the same thing I tell them, which is that learning what's in this course will expand your awareness and understanding of the process as a whole, therefore building your confidence. AKA, it will only just put you in a better position to conquer the early stages of learning how to surf. Basically, if you have learned a repeatable framework to stand up on your board in the right spot every time, then you're ready for this information. If you haven't, then you'll want to take our first time surfer course, then come back so you don't get ahead of yourself. All right, quick disclaimer here. This course does in fact encourage you to paddle out into waves on your own, which if you didn't realize by now, can be very dangerous. When you are no longer with an instructor, you are now responsible for taking care of yourself. But just to bring you at ease, this course will actually teach you how to be safe out there through making educated decisions as opposed to just guessing. We would not advise any of our students to paddle out alone until they have learned all that is in this course. Also, a good rule of thumb here, which we advise all of our students to do in these early phases, is to surf near a lifeguard or with a friend. All right, so you're probably wondering at this point, what the heck am I going to learn that is actually going to give me the awareness and real confidence to safely paddle out, turn around, and catch waves on my own while not pissing off other surfers or looking like a total kook? I'm going to walk you through what you will receive when you sign up for the Developing Surfer course. Module 1, the life cycle of a wave. Learning the life cycle of a wave will teach you where you need to sit in order to catch a wave, how hard or fast you need to paddle, as well as how to avoid being in the impact zone and taking waves on your head. This module will completely change how you view the ocean. You'll begin to notice a rhythm in the lineup that you didn't see before. Module 2, the 4 types of waves. Once you know the wave's life cycle, it's time to pair it with the 4 different types of waves you're looking for out in the ocean. This module goes over these 4 types of waves and will teach you how to identify which waves you want to catch and want to avoid. Combining the knowledge of a wave's life cycle and the 4 different types of waves is how you begin to speak the language of the sea. This is a crucial part in connecting the dots for this new body language you are about to learn. Module 3, stages of the lineup. This portion goes over the stages of a sandbar and a point break. This will teach you where to paddle out and where to surf once you're out there. Knowing this will help you avoid conflict and injury in the lineup and will allow you to catch more waves in your skill level. Module 4, rip currents versus regular currents. This module goes over the difference between a rip current and a regular current, aka a drift, the way to identify, avoid, and escape a rip current, as well as how to use currents to your advantage or in your game plan for paddling out. Experienced surfers actually use currents to their advantage, and they know that they aren't always a bad thing. Module 5, the session size up. The session size up for paddling out amongst other surfers on the outside, main break, or peak is such an important step to progressing through this stage of surfing. This section will teach you what to look for in the lineup so you can make a strategic plan for when you paddle out. When you have a plan for attack in a competitive lineup, your confidence level will skyrocket and you'll be much more likely to catch the waves you're looking for. Module 6, lineup positioning and priority. This section will teach you the structure of a lineup and how to position yourself in it, who has priority for what wave, what it means to cut somebody off, and how to avoid it. These are the fundamentals of surfing etiquette. Once you understand how to join a lineup without pissing off other surfers, you will earn respect in your own spot out there. You will also feel confident in knowing which wave is actually yours or not, and you will no longer allow better surfers to take advantage of you by stealing your waves, which, believe me, happens a ton. Module 7, how to catch a breaking wave. This section will teach you how to position yourself, turn around, catch, and stand up on a wave with proper timing. After watching this section, you will know the different ways to sit on your board when waiting for a wave and when to paddle faster or slower for a wave. This section is the difference between paddling around while watching other surfers catch waves and actually catching waves while working on progressing. Module 8, down the line turns and takeoffs. This section will teach you how to turn down the line after standing up on a wave and how to take off going down the line before standing up on a wave. After learning these techniques, you will be able to successfully catch and ride a bigger variety of waves. When paddling for a wave, you don't always have the perfect takeoff zone. Actually, you rarely do. So by learning this, you will be able to overcome a complex takeoff zone by angling yourself into the wave before paddling. These modules will transform your surfing in a short period of time. Not only that, it'll save you months and potentially years of trial and error. This is the phase of surfing that takes the longest. In addition to these fundamental modules, I have decided to add a handful of bonuses that will help you progress past this stage faster. I do this because my job is to make sure you actually learn how to surf. Bonus 1, the developing surfer pop-up. This pop-up technique is designed to teach you how to follow a repeatable pop-up process for when you upgrade to a more performance board. As your board gets smaller for higher performance, your pop-up becomes harder and needs to be very specific. This process builds off of our 6 steps to surfing success with simple adjustments for riding a performance surfboard. Bonus 2, the session size up checklist. This checklist is designed to be a cheat sheet for you to reference every single time before you paddle out that will help you formulate a game plan for surfing the main break amongst other surfers. When you have a game plan before you paddle out, you are likely to have a much more successful session. Sometimes you will learn through this checklist that it might actually not be a safe day for you to paddle out. Bonus 3, how to read a surf report guide. This guide will help you decipher a surf report so you can be confident as to whether or not you should be paddling out that day. Surfing better conditions allows you to progress faster and vice versa. Surfing conditions that are too big or choppy for you can actually hold you back or discourage you. Bonus 4, the surfer's board guide. This serves as an actionable guideline to follow on your surfing journey in order to choose the right equipment at each level. When you're on the right equipment and don't get ahead of yourself like most surfers, you will steadily progress and avoid plateaus. Bonus 5, a spot in our Learn to Surf Secrets Club. This is a community for all developing surfers to share experiences and learn from one another, as well as to gain access to exclusive mini courses, web classes, destination retreats, live Q&As, interviews, and more. All of this to completely level up your surfing for just $197. One payment for lifetime access to this course and a community of other surfers working through the same stage as you. This course is valued at over $1,000 if done in person one-on-one. When pricing this course, I had two options: either charge its value of $1,000 and exclude so many surfers in need who couldn't afford it, or charge under $200 and make it affordable so all the surfers in need could be a part of this progression. Because my mission is to make this world a better place through surfing, I decided to make less money. It's time to take the step to progress your surfing to an independent level where you are fully capable of progressing on your own. Click the button below and start your journey today. You won't regret it. I'll see you out there.